Hey guys, we are back, and it is that time again. You guys know the drill. Satana came out yesterday, completed the Accursed, so you know we've got some Professor X testing to do. So we are going to jump in here. She is finally out, and we are going to throw together some testing. Now, we're going to do it a little bit different this time. I've had multiple people asking me about options for Professor X that do not require bio. I know everybody's excited about the Fantastic Four coming to the game, and I know they're an arena team, and I know a lot of people are wanting to save that bio gear for when they release. So I've put together a team that we're going to test with Satana today that does not require any bio gear and will allow us to use some of these newer characters. With that being said, let's jump in here. We're going to start back on the Kahori node because we all know that one is a nightmare. So let's jump in here and get rolling. All right. Now, something I always forget, don't forget, guys, we have a Discord we started. There's a lot of good resources in there. There is a section in there for you guys to ask advice on Professor X, ask about things that you need tested, things of that nature. The link is in the description, so if that's something you're interested in, feel free to join. We'd love to have you. All right, so we are going to be testing Shadow King, Null, Helverine, Satana, and in-game Thanos. Okay? Now, our good buddy BPG asked us to test with Mordo in in-game Thanos' place, but unfortunately, that combo will not work. So we've sliced in-game Thanos. I have not tried this yet, so we're going to test it together and see if this will work. My hope is that it will work because this team comp right here will require 0 bio gear. So for you guys that are getting close to the end and you need to save that gear for the Fantastic Four, this is going to give you that capability. So hopefully this will work and get us through here. Now, as you guys saw, Satana is 2 diamond. However, we've got Null, we've got Shadow King, and in-game Thanos. Null is 5 red. In-game Thanos and Shadow King are completely maxed out. And Helverine is 2 diamonds as well. All right, so we're going to jump in here. Now, I will tell you, I did some testing yesterday, and I made a couple videos with Satana at 3 red. And then when the videos were over, I brought her to 7 red to bring her up. And then I went into my editing and realized that my screen was missized and half of the screen was cut off. So, unfortunately, I cannot go in here and test her with 3 red. So, I know a lot of you guys were wanting to see that. Unfortunately, there was a mishap, so she is already raised up. However, this will give you a good indication of whether or not this is going to work. And I'll be able to tell you whether or not Satana is going to work at a lower star level based on her performance and how she's affected in here. So let's jump in here and get started. All right. The Kahoris are both going to go about 30 times, so we'll just hang out for a little bit while that goes on. Okay. All right. Finally, we'll go ahead and use his special over here on Miss Marvel Classic. That's going to get rid of Zugs. All right. We're going to go ahead and get out the Battlefield effect as soon as possible. I was really hoping that would get rid of the Kahori. All right. We're going to go ahead and use her special. Try to get rid of Kahori here. Okay, let's go ahead and use his ultimate and clear all of these effects out there. And there goes one Kahori. That's perfect. Okay, we're going to go ahead and save his ultimate for now, but we're going to go ahead and use his special, see if we can get rid of the other Kahori. Close. Very, very close. Okay, Kahori's probably going to do her special now. All right. We're going to save his ultimate for later. Okay. We're going to go ahead and use his special and get Carnage out here. Okay. All right, that should get some speed up there for Null, which is great. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and use his ultimate because we really need to get rid of this Miss Marvel Classic and this Kahori before the other ones drop. Okay. Very good. All right. Let's go ahead and see if we can get rid of this Kahori. She's gone. That's perfect. All right. This should be no issue whatsoever. And as you can see, on this level, Satana has not been affected at all. So on this particular node, if she was 5 or 6 red, I can't see that you'd have any issues whatsoever. If you did, just throw a fortifier on her to make her a little more beefy, because you're really not needing her offense at all to get through this. So there's that one. No issues whatsoever. All right, let's jump into the next one, which I believe is Night Stalkers. All right, let's get in here. All right, here we go. I'm very excited to have the full Accursed team for Cosmic Crucible. Let me know in the comments, guys. Have you guys been excited for Satana to come out? Were you guys thinking about using her in Professor X? All right, let's go ahead and get the battlefield effect out there. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and use his ultimate right out of the gate. Very good. Okay, no damage whatsoever. All right, let's go ahead and use her special. Healed up Helverine. Let's see, we got 11 left, so we're going to go ahead and use his basic for now. Okay, let's go ahead and use his special. All right, very good. I could not tell if he had taunt or not. All right, this should get rid of Oath. Oh, no, I did not realize how low he was over there. Okay. Let's go ahead and go after Blade. Oath has ability block. All right. Almost pushed Thanos. This will. No. I thought she was going after Thanos. All right. Let's go ahead and use her ultimate. This should get rid of Blade. All right. And this node's smooth sailing as well. Helverine's a monster. All right. Again, as you can see, I don't think you would need Satana any bigger than a 5 red to get through this. Now, this last node is going to be a different story. because they're going to go a billion times before we get a turn. So I'm very interested to see how everyone holds up. Because we got pandas, we've got Nightcrawler, we've got gambits and rogues. So we'll just have to see how this particular node goes as far as how everyone's health is after they take 40 turns. Okay. He did not put slow on anyone, which is perfect. Okay. There's Rogue. She hit Null. There's the other Rogue. Yeah. This one could get a little tricky. I don't know if you're going to make it through here with a small Satana unless you're just lucky. I don't know that we're going to make it through here, period, but we'll find out shortly. We're going to have to try to get rid of these gambits. All right, healed everybody up. Very good. Okay, this is going to heal her and Helverine. So let's go ahead and do her ultimate. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and do his ultimate that should put a hurting out there on everyone. And then if Helverine goes, he's probably going to wipe them all out. All right, here we go. Yep, they gone. All right, let's do this level a couple different times. I want to see how the RNG plays out. Because if it's going to go like that most every time, I'm going to tell you that you're probably at least going to have Satana at a 7 red, 6 at the very least with a fortifier, just to keep her alive. But let's take a look at it again and see if we get through this without her taking hardly any damage. Because I want you guys to know what to expect with this. I don't want you guys taking her to G20 thinking you can bring her into Professor X with her at 4 red and then get in here and get hung up. All right. That stunned Helverine. That's not great. Okay. Yeah, she went after Satana. All right, let's get the battlefield effect out there. Okay, he does not have his ultimate this time for some reason, which could be a big issue for us. Because if we don't get rid of Gambit, his pings are going to keep hitting Satana. All right. Now we're going straight back with his ultimate. So yeah, that clears up everything just fine. The main thing is keeping Satana alive for that first barrage. I think you could get the RNG to where Rogue immediately targets in-game Thanos and pushes him for his passive to go off. And that would save some damage because I think that would skip Red Goblin's turn. But just something to be aware of. If you want to bring in Satana with this squad, and she is not any bigger than a 3 or a 4 red at this point in time, just be aware that you may end up having to build her up before you can progress through this particular node. Okay. And that should do it. So essentially, I don't see any issues getting through this. Your main concern is going to be keeping Satana alive, so just be aware of that. If she's smaller, you're probably going to have to bring her in with a healer or a fortifier, and you might have to reset multiple times to get the RNG just right. All right. Well, guys, I hope you got some value out of that. For any of you guys that were looking to bring in Helverine and Satana, I hope this gives you a little bit of excitement. It gives you the capability to save that bio gear. So if you have any questions, if you guys have any other teams that you're interested in knowing if they'll work, let me know down in the comments. If you guys got some value out of this video, hit that thumbs up. It helps the channel a lot. Hit that subscribe if you haven't. About 70% of you guys that watch the videos have not yet subscribed. So jump on Team Denman and let's roll down the road on these videos. So hit that, slap that bell around a little bit, share it with your friends and alliance mates if you think it will help them out. And until the next video, guys, stay positive and enjoy the game.